All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Apostle David E. Taylor Full Frontal Exposure, where everybody's opinion is a lie. David E. Taylor, you are a piece of shit. Okay, so we got our funny man back, which is really good. Okay, so he's not dead. All right, that's good news. That's A plus news actually, because him being dead, David being dead, wouldn't be good for this. He wouldn't be able to face a man's justice. David's going to face God's justice, that's for sure. But it's not going to stop him from facing a man's justice either, because he's right with God. Now, if anybody saw his video that came out the other day, Friday, right? He recorded it Friday. While we were live streaming Friday night, he actually sent me the email of him doing these, So we released this video Saturday. And if everybody saw the video, he still doesn't look well, guys. He's sitting down in the chair, real weak, real quiet, talking real under his breath. And there's a comment here from one of our subscribers about his health, his overall health, guys. And some people might think he's okay health, but he's not, man. He's not. And even people are pointing it out. Did anyone notice he denies being on his deathbed, but never denies being ill? I noticed that too. But I think he did deny being ill. I can't remember. But there's a couple comments in here, guys, where it's actually talking about. Let me get to the comment here. Hang on a second. It's from our contact in Ireland, who's an immunologist. Let me get to the comment here. Sorry about that. Basically saying, hey, he's very sick still, out of breath, and the fact that he's sitting there is not a good sign. I mean, David's usually up and moving around and mobile and, up in the screen like this, saying, no, you got to believe in this face-to-face movement or you're going to go to hell. But we don't see that from him anymore. So he is indeed sick, guys, and this is proof. And there's people out there that are thinking, oh, he's not, no, how do you know he's sick? How do you know he's sick? You don't know that. Yes, I do know he's sick, okay? And a lot of people, think I don't know, but I do. I do know he's sick, okay? That's from sources, medical professionals, and more sources, okay? It's not just, I don't just spit this information out because I want to. It's because there's sources that are looking in from the outside and being like, this guy's fucked up. Let me see here. I'm trying to find that comment from Anne. Anne's our immunologist over in Ireland, and she was the one who kind of pointed out that David's in pretty bad shape. Let's see here. And he is, guys, he's in shit shape, guys. He's not healthy. He might say he's healthy and all, and he might be lying to his followers and saying, oh, I'm in perfect health, but no, he's in bad health, guys. He's in bad health. Also, what pastor or apostle would come out trying to basically cover his lies for the last several years? The Amway Arena keeps saying everything got pushed back and that the Amway Arena's closed and the stage is still being built. No, it's not. Everybody who's paying attention to this, David is lying to you again. The Amway Arena won't happen. The stage isn't going to be continued. Isn't going to get finished built. Nelly's house is a dump, okay? All these mansions he's buying, he's got to fix up. And rude, wow, you totally made David come out of Shutaway. He actually can stand unaided and speak for half an hour without his voice giving out, and the poor complexion and profuse sweating are just a lighting effect. Okay, here it is. And this is Anne, our immunologist over in Ireland. She says, he couldn't have stood for the time on the video. I have theories. The loss in respiratory volume is very easy to detect. I suggest listening to the sound only for a few minutes. This could be being practically bedridden for a considerable time, 6 months plus, or it could indicate major surgery, maybe coronary artery bypass grafts. It's about the right loss of function for that. He's certainly not dead, but he's not a well man. All the billions of dollars in the world, doesn't the Bible condemn boasting and gathering up wealth? Yes, it does. It's called hoarding. It's called money hoarding, and David does exactly that. That will not change his health. He looks like he may have had some intervention from the respiratory drop that happens after lengthy general anesthesia. Okay. It's probably an Irish humor thing. He's in dreadful condition, but you poked him out of his hole. Good job. Okay, so that's from our immunologist saying, yeah, there's good possibilities David is still very sick. And some people, again, don't believe it, but I do. I do. David is not a well man. He's not. He's, in my opinion, like God is striking him down. He's turning David into a full-blown glutton, right? If David's going to do all this bullshit against the flock, why not God turn him into a piece of shit glutton? That's where I'm at with David. So welcome back, David E. Taylor. We're happy to have our funny man back, okay? Bring us more content, okay? That's what we need. We need more content from you. You being sick, David, I mean, that's a one-up. You being dead wouldn't have been good for us. It would have been good for the cause. It would have been time wasted, basically, if you had died, okay? So I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad to see you talking and actually in some sort of decent health. And you're not dead, okay? So, again, I know you're sick, David, okay? Because of your Privacy Act that you guys tried to file against me, okay? That is proof that you guys are indeed keeping his bad health hidden from the rest of the cult. Joe Lodico, what church takes Bitcoin? No church takes Bitcoin, man. I'm glad you noticed that. Joe Lodico, what church takes Bitcoin? These people have no shame. They don't. They don't. That's where I believe David gets his drugs from is the dark web. He uses Bitcoin, and he uses that to recycle it on the dark web to buy his drugs or whatever else shit he wants to buy. He uses Bitcoin or shitcoin. Back in a jiffy, wake up, David. You are not well and will perish if you do not stop. True story. David, steak and lobster isn't a low cholesterol diet, buddy. Lay off the butter, lay off the fucking everything. Lay off the fast food, Burger King, Krispy Kreme. David, you need to be eating a vegan diet. Fruits, nuts, vegetables, a lot of water. You're no doubt going to be on some medication now. So anybody who thinks that David is well and doing okay, he's not. And the fact of the matter is, guys, that he had to come out and say the Amway Arena was canceled and don't believe all these lies on the internet. Like, that's somebody with, like, that's grasping for a lifeline, basically, at this point. All these mansions they bought up, not good. It's not going to be good for them. They now have to upkeep these mansions, which is going to cost a lot of money, right? Then David even said, we bought all these residential centers, right? Yeah, they did. They fucking bought a bunch of residential centers the last few years, guys, with donor money. And the fact of the matter is none of these donors or the people who deposit money into their bank account are going to go live in these mansions. They're raffling off tickets to go stay in one of these mansions for a weekend. So, anybody, again, any follower, any cult member who has been depositing money into this account, to this cult's bank account, you're not going to go. I did find out they bank through Chase Bank, okay? I'm pretty sure that's where they're banking through. So Joseph's writing the checks, just to let you guys know. And Michelle is kind of running the cult now because David's sick. And Michelle's a bitch too, guys. Michelle's a full-blown bitch. She will no doubt be just as bad as David, if not worse. Probably worse than David. And that's bad. Think about David and think about Michelle like being 10 times worse than David. So, if you guys got questions, comments, concerns, man, please leave them below. David, welcome back. Thank you for coming out of your shutaway and finally showing us that you are indeed still alive, okay? And that you're not dead. That's really good. That's good for the cause. Because if you were dead, David, this whole channel would have been a waste of fucking time. But you're not dead, so it's working. Okay? David, I will continue to file fraud against you. I will continue to call out your medical conditions. Okay? Because I know you're sick. Don't lie to us. The more you lie to us, David, the worse it's going to be. Okay? But I'll tell you something, David. Just come out clean with the truth. Right? Don't come out and lie and say you're this great fucking healer when you're not. You can't even heal your own fucking sickness, David. You are sick, David. We know that. We know that. This is now confirmed. Okay? And you might be hiding it from all your little cult members, but you're not hiding it from us. I did find out, David, several years ago, when you caught a cold, it was a big fucking deal, and they tried to hide it from everybody. Okay, so imagine if David got really sick, like fucking bedridden sick, imagine him trying to hide this from the rest of the cult, man. Imagine that type of mind control to keep everybody in the dark that David's actually sick. But yet at the same time, Michelle's probably saying, "Oh yeah, he's great. Apostle's just fine." But no, he's sick as fuck, guys. Look at him. He looks like shit. He couldn't even get up out of the chair to fucking talk at the camera. He had to sit there and waddle back and forth and shift his weight back and forth. So again, guys, usually certain health conditions like diabetes starts at the feet. Starts at the feet, guys, and works the way up. That's how my uncle passed. You know how it works, man. His started with an ulcer in his foot. Started with his foot, had to amputate his leg got infected, had to amputate his leg. That's just the way it works. And David's got huge fucking legs, too. We know he's got huge fucking legs, man. Huge legs. I mean, David is at a predisposition for a lot of health conditions, you guys. He really is. He really is. And if he's got hypercholesterolemia, I mean, he was eating a high cholesterol diet, like his inside of his veins were just probably fucking solid as a rock. You're getting there, very close to it. I think that's gonna be kind of it. Back in a jiffy, I'm getting comments as I'm doing this show here. Back in a jiffy, it's clear he's not showing any repentance and still wants to scam people. Unforgivable and unbelievable at the same time. Yes, and he comes out, guys, to still scam people. That's the only reason he came out, was to say, "Oh, you know, this is still going on and this is still going on." You guys, none of his bullshit is gonna happen. The Amway Arena isn't gonna happen. Okay, he can't fucking afford it. Get that through your guys' brain. He can't afford it. The Convoy of Miracles can't happen because he needs the trucks to carry the stage to the Amway Arena, and he doesn't have enough. Okay. Plus, he doesn't have the money. Plus, the trucks, the JMMI trucks, that tax ID number is revoked. So for him to be driving those trucks with the JMMI logo on it when that tax ID has been revoked, that's some fucking shady shit, okay? The Convoy of Miracles isn't happening because he also needs the convoy and the convoy and the Amway Arena aren't going to happen because he either needs it to carry the stage or he's got to do it to do the Convoy of Miracles in it. He can't have both, okay? So that's not going to happen either. The Inheritance by Lineage University, let me talk about that. The Inheritance by Lineage University is a fucking college with no degree plan. It is not accredited, okay? You will get nothing from this college except to fucking dump your money into House of Prayer Christian Church that got busted by the feds recently, did the same thing. Had an unaccredited college with no degree plan that was fucking scamming people out of money. And that's exactly what David is doing with this IBLU, the Inheritance by Lineage University. That's a fucking scam college. It's like a fucking for-profit college with no degree plan. It really is, guys. That's what David is doing with that. That's why I'm going to start pushing that narrative also to the fucking government that, like, hey, how can this man take in deposits on a college that doesn't exist, that's not accredited, when there's no teachers, no degree plan, there's no fucking course program or anything like that? How do they allow this to go on? So I'm going to start pushing that a little bit, that the IBLU, it's all bullshit. If it was happening, it would have happened already. I mean, yeah, he's buying all these residential centers and he's writing them as recreational areas for the church on the tax forms and shit. So it's like some of these areas where there's HOAs, it's like they're really their hands are kind of tied because it's a church and it's actually a cult. So anybody in the Vila Country Club area that's watching this, there's a cult in your backyard. And they're scamming your vendors, okay? They're scamming the vendors that are actually going into your country club area and doing the work. Okay, proof, facts. If you guys want to know, I'll probably put you in contact with the guy. So yeah, that's gonna kind of be it, guys. David's back. He's gonna continue to try and run his scam from mentally ill people and continue to collect deposits into their bank account because it's most likely they're going broke now. They gotta be going broke, guys. I don't know where the fuck they're getting all this money from. I mean, David finally showed his face after, 2 fucking years? He's like, oh, it's COVID. And David, I love the way you say COVID. COVID? It's COVID. COVID ID. It's not COVID IT, okay? Learn to fucking speak too, David. David, nobody's following you because you can't speak a fucking a 5th grade level, dude. Okay? Nobody's gonna follow you because you can't speak above a 5th grade level. I think that's going to be kind of it, guys. Just wanted to tell David, welcome back. I'm glad you're not dead, okay? I'm very glad to see you actually sitting up in your chair and alive and in some form of good health. I would recommend, David, you eat a fucking vegan diet, okay? Keep up with your medication, and, definitely do some exercise. You got 3 fucking gyms. You got gyms at all those houses, David. Start exercising, dude. Okay? Little fucking pride and shit like that. Take some pride in your appearance. Don't be a fucking glutton, David. Don't come out and be a fucking scam artist again, which we all know you're going to, dude. We can't stop that. So with that being said, guys, keep reporting his channel. That's the only way this is stopped, David. I will continue to file fraud against you and Michelle and all the rest of your fucking cult members. Okay, that's not gonna stop. I'm glad to see you live, David, because I would feel fucking idiotic if you were dead and I was still filling those out. So glad to see you're up and kicking and you're around and moving and alive and breathing. So again, questions, comments, concerns, you guys leave them below. David is very unhealthy still. Okay. Shortness of breath, you all noticed that. That was the biggest one I noticed, was his real shortness of breath. It's like he had no energy to raise his voice, really. So, we still know he's sick, David. We know you're sick, man. I know you're sick, dude. Okay? Get well soon, because the fraud reports are going to keep coming, okay? Your days are limited, David. You might not think so, dude, but your days are fucking limited, dude. Your cult is coming to an end. I'm glad we got you out of hiding. This just shows that you have no shame and that you're willing to do anything to lie and cheat and steal and scam from all your fucking donators.